The other topic I wanted to talk about was specifically the first-person mode. That was the first time that they've talked about it, the first time anybody's gotten to see it.
We played around with it quite a bit.
Yeah, like GTA 5 on Xbox One and PS4 and PC, where they added it. It wasn't in the original Xbox 360 release. So you can play the whole game in first person if you want to. And I'm curious what you thought about it, Tina, because I've always been a huge proponent. I love first-person views, particularly in beautiful environmental games. Like I go all the way back when I played a little bit of the original EverQuest. That's how old I am. I like to play it in the first-person view because I was in this huge MMORPG, like in there in my character, and I loved it, even though like tactically it might not have been the best way to go. And I've always liked a good, well put together first-person experience with good like locomotion and being able to see yourself, and I just love it. And this game, it's all there. What did you think of it?
So I went in thinking that, this is a beautiful environment and it would be really nice for the sake of immersion to feel like I'm more part of the world than I would be from a third person perspective. I went in totally expecting to feel that way. And then like seeing it play out, it felt a little bit wonkier to me. Like I think I liked the like stability of seeing, like especially when you're riding a horse and things are kind of bobbling along, which there's so many settings you can play with that we can't get too much into yet. But effectively, like I actually felt it took away from my ability to see the world around me because it was through such a narrow view, as opposed to like when it's pulled back, I can still swivel the camera around, but I can see like where I am in respect to the world. So I don't know, maybe it comes down to I've moved on from, because I'm also a first person kind of gamer for the most part. So maybe in this kind of setting, I just prefer the third person. You get more of a scope of like what you can see around you. Tactically speaking, that's a big point. I did feel there was one moment where you were in first person and then like we just got completely attacked by wolves, and I felt like you couldn't see because they're like surrounding you and you couldn't see, like you're fighting one in your face and then there's two others behind you and one to your right, and it's just I was like desperately in my head like go into third person mode.
Did you feel more immersed into the action? Like, was it more visceral in that perspective then?
Yeah, so actually that's a good point. Yeah, visceral.
Gritty and visceral.
That's a good point, because when the wolf was like attacking, so I was just watching Ryan, and like when the wolf was attacking Ryan, like you can see increasingly as he got bites on you, his face and fur was just getting overloaded with blood. Yeah. And it is kind of terrifying because you have the sound effects of like this thing growling at you, and you can hear the growling from other sides as well. So it did feel scarier, and I did feel like more in fear for Ryan's life than I would have maybe if you were in third person, because you would be able to get a scope of like, okay, I'm gonna get this one first because he's like 5 feet out, and then I'll get this one because he's closer. Like, you didn't have the ability to really think tactically like that because you're just focused on, oh my God, like I'm getting eaten in the face right now.
Yeah, and that specific, I'm glad you brought up that wolf attack, because that was the moment, the first person moment, because I was kind of going in and out, just trying to cycle and see, try a bunch of different stuff. That was the moment that stood out for me during the time that we played, because that moment for me, it was so much more dangerous and like literally in your face, where you said it exactly. I mean, first of all, the wolves, and you can really see it in first person, like that has awesome fur shading on them. Like they look really good.
So much detail.
And yeah, they start gnawing on your arms, and their faces are getting bloody, and then I just stab one finally, and then its body would slump into the snow, and like the blood would seep into the snow.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, it was so, and yeah, it was just crazy where they're just these very, very angry looking wolves were just coming at me right in my face, compared to if the camera had been pulled back, it would have just been like, well, that's cool. I mean, it's, hey, getting attacked by wolves, we're doing a gameplay thing right now, but it wouldn't have been like, ah! Yeah. Wow. And that's what it was at first.
Did you guys have headsets on, or was it like full
surround sound?
Yeah.
After hearing you guys talk about it, I am so excited to kill animals and people. And I can't wait.
Super diverse range.
Just anything you find.
And you'll be able to do
blood seeping everywhere.
All of that in first person.
On the horse butts.
Or the one thing that
you're going to be a psychopath in this game. I'm going to be Wild West first serial killer.
I already said I'm not going to do anything to the horse, and I'm just like not going to groom my character and just see how terrible he gets. That's my plan.
You're just going to go through horses in life.
You have to
they die?
Yeah.
Will they just die?
They can, yeah. So there's a mechanic where you can
it's
tell.
Like a Tamagotchi.
You can tell tell your horse to flee. So if you're in the middle, if you like really love your horse and you've built up its abilities and whatever else, it's real.
No,
so
I
you
know.
can like tell it to flee if you're in the middle of a huge firefight and you're worried that it might get shot in the line of fire. So you can just like pat its butt and tell it to get off.
I just have this really awesome like vignette in my head of like a grizzled old cowboy like, get out, Buttercup, save yourself.
I mean, probably there are some quips like that, so it's very Western. But to go back to the snow thing for a moment, I actually did just remember, since we're talking about hunting and everything else, there was a bear that we came across, and
everybody was like, "Don't shoot it." I'm like, "I want to shoot
I was
it."
like, obviously, I'm going to shoot the bear. Well, because the bear, so it's in the middle of winter, so he doesn't have like a ton of resources in terms of food or anything. So this is a very hungry, like very angry bear. So the Rockstar reps are sitting in the back like, well, you don't want to anger the bear because the bear already like will probably kill you. But if it's angry and hungry, it's definitely going to kill you. So Ryan's like, and he's just like walking up to a rock, like squatting down to just aim his shot.
I was really
Cue the
far
scene
away.
from Predator where you're just mowing down the
But
forest.
like interestingly, it got scared because you shot it like 5 times and it was just barreling away.
It was from so far away that the bullets, nothing was lethal. It was just like, it just got annoyed and ran away. It was like, I'm peace out, I'm gone.
Yeah, he's like, God damn it, man! I'm just sitting here trying to look for fish in the middle of winter. Everything's frozen.
Yeah, lucky Ryan.
Probably.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, we were expecting that to end very differently.
I was like, I'm gonna Leonardo DiCaprio this thing.
Yeah,
oh my
exactly.
God.
And we all know how that ended.
Yeah, the bear did most of the work in that movie, right? It sounds like I'm going to turn off as much of the HUD as I can, turn off quest icons, and just play in first person, so you get this like really narrow slice of that world and just kind of explore everything.
Yeah,
if you want to make the dangerous Wild West that much more dangerous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so many open world games, it's like, all right, pull up the map. There's a million icons, and then I start the checklist. Like, okay, how fast can I get from A to B to C to D, and then back to where I'm going? But in a game like this where there's so much detail, it would almost
79 to be specific.
79?
Yeah.
Little things.
That's exactly.
On IGN.com right now, you can check out that sweet
Plug.
video. It almost seems like it would be, I don't know, a disservice to just treat it like a checklist of things. I kind of want to get in there and like just see the details of it. And you can use guns, so I don't have to like use melee in first person, which I'm just not a fan of.
Small thing, but the UI on the menu systems you brought up going to the shop, does it feel like organic and natural?
Oh my God.
Or is it like,
let me tell
press
you,
X to buy that and
it could not
move your
be more
dollar sign?
organic.
it could not be
to
more
Pet
organic. So
Buttercup,
there's like 2 ways you can walk around the store and like look at the items, and it kind of like tells you what things are, and it has prices.
You can walk like this.
Yeah, probably. If you're in first person mode, you wouldn't know though.
Yeah.
So you can do that, or you can look at the catalog, which we spent far too much time. Like Rockstar was
it's like a
you guys are,
magazine.
yeah. So Rockstar was like,
literally.
you guys
Cool
are
way
kind
to
of
do
running
it.
out of time. Like, do you want to like go to the next mission? We're like, no, but the catalog. Like, how will we know what all the full page ads are unless we sit here for another hour? So we sat there maybe for like 20 minutes, genuinely just looking through the catalog. And there are advertisements, like actual full page advertisements that
That's
you can
such a
read.
good way
you
to
can
do
like
UI.
zoom in and actually read these things.
Yeah.
And then there's all the like you can shop through it as
for
well.
tonic or
Like
for,
old timey.
Oh yeah,
Like
period
Yeah.
appropriate.
Dr. Felixer's magical elixir
Yeah,
kind of
for
thing.
sure.
That's really cool.
And there's all these other little details too, like because you can customize how you look as well. Could you do the hair customizing too?
That's at camp.
Okay, so that's not in the catalog, but
But you, I bought at the store. I bought the
you bought
the
like
hair
a
gel,
yeah,
whatever it's
that's
called.
right,
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
wanted
the
to. I wanted to.
pomade. You bought pomade,
Yes,
yeah.
I wanted to style my hair at camp, and
Yeah.
it's like you don't have stuff to do that.
What is this game?
It's a world.
Do you have to? Sorry,
It's a
yes, it's a
Rockstar
Rockstar
world.
world.
Yes.
We're just living in it. Do you have to shave? Out of curiosity,
You don't have to. You'll turn into
You can if
So
you
Destin's
want.
I'm curious.
monster
dream
character.
man.
I'm curious because I just want to see you. I want to see you
Dream man.
with like a raccoon skin hat, just full.
Oh, you
full
can
beard.
do that actually.
Yeah.
You can wear animal carcasses as a hat. That's a thing.
There you go.
Do they have to be well crafted, or can I do it
You have to
poorly?
craft it.
Oh, okay.
I
don't know how
I want to
well
believe your character,
or not well.
like from head to
Awesome
toe,
hat.
there isn't an inch of you that isn't covered in hair
Turns out it
or
was just
fur.
playing dead.
Yeah. I can't believe.
But with your facial hair, you can and the hair on your head, you can only style it according to the length, like in real life. So you can't like go from clean shaven to full beard.
Right, you got to let it grow out.
Grow that
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
No extensions?
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
Not in this decade, I guess.
Darn it.
I always thought it was weird when you could be like, "Oh, how does he look clean shaven? Pretty good, but I like the beard better. Let's
just
cut
go
a
right
beard
back
back
to
on
it.
to him." Yeah.
Yeah, you won't.
Looking
glued
at
on.
you, Geralt.